Almaden Valley. What? It is the summer and we have a crazy real estate market. Stay tuned for an update. Hi, I'm Theresa Wellman with HomeownerExperience.com, your local San Jose, California realtor, talking today about the Almaden Valley real estate market. It is July 2021 and we are experiencing a record-breaking market. Jump in the computer with me and let's take a look at the chart so you understand how different and how exciting and challenging for buyers the real estate market is today. Okay, Almaden Valley. Well, we still have a pretty exciting market. This is data through June 2021, and the closings in June were up 10% from the previous month on the median price. Pretty crazy. But I think with Almaden prices going up and down, the more interesting thing to track is year over year, which was up 30%. Can you believe it? The sales were actually slightly down, closed in June, but the pendings are up, and we're up a lot from last year. So we'll get into more of that. But in the field, what I'm seeing is that we have a number of offers to slowing to 2 to 3 offers if the house is in nice, decent condition. If it's really special, you're getting more than that. If it's needing a little work, you're probably only ending up with 1 or 2. But the offers are still strong. We're still getting 10% over on average. So that's because we've still got good demand here and low supply. Let's get into that more. So here's the monthly chart where I track all of the data. And as you can see in the orange and blue lines, prices are still really strong and have increased quite a bit over this 2020 year. The pending sales is this dotted blue line. And I probably need to zoom in here a little bit. Pending sales are ticked back up a little bit. So that's great news. And the inventory is still extremely low. Look at this yellow line. It's almost like you're losing it here. We've never seen inventory this low except for a couple times in November, December timeframe. But here we are in the middle of the summer at winter level inventory. So the inventory actually went down in June. Can you believe it? And we'll get into that more. It has to do with how many properties we are selling. We just can't keep them. So the days of inventory and the actual inventory numbers, as I said, are very low. We have 8 days of inventory. The pending sales are really strong. They were up 4% from the previous month. And the list price to sale price ratio is 9.7% over. So inventory is down 20% from the previous month. It's just really, really tight inventory. We still need so much inventory. There were 12 actives in June with 51 pending. So we're at 81% of single family homes are in contract compared to 76 last month. So the market's just getting tighter and tighter. And that is just obviously really crazy huge. So right now on July 9th, when I'm recording this, we have 16 homes on the market. So a little bit better with 6 coming soon, but not a lot better with those 51 pendings. That is still just a really tight supply and demand market. So let's talk a little bit about my predictions of the market. So as you can see here, I've marked the market peaks for sales in June. I'm looking at the green bars, sales in Almaden Valley. And typically that's in May or June. Last year, it was kind of funny. We had a peak in July. It was a little late with COVID delaying the market. And we had a peak so far in May. June was a little bit lower. I do expect the sales to continue to drop a little bit, though it looks like from the pending sales, we might actually have a bump up in July. So maybe the July is going to be the peak this year for the number of sales. I do expect pending sales to continue to slow just because that's very seasonal this time of year for Almaden Valley with the schools and vacations and such. So look at the general trend of this dotted line is typically going to just really slow down in the summer. And prices, well, it really depends on the inventory. At this point, we are at so low inventory. I do expect to see more inventory coming to the market, but not any crazy peak that we've seen in the past. So it's likely going to mean that our prices will continue to hold through the fall. So if we're looking here at some of these years, you see that some years the prices do hold, some they go down a little bit, but I do think we're going to see what we saw kind of in 2015, 2016, 2017, relatively slow increase or flat prices for the rest of the year. That's what I anticipate. So next, watch what to expect when selling your home. If you're considering selling, it's a great time for Almaden Valley right now. And if you want to learn more about Almaden Valley neighborhoods, take a tour with me and see my playlist on the neighborhoods and home tours. Thanks so much for watching.